subtopics on how you build the muscle. It You train the muscle, you feed the muscle, you let the muscle rest. Those are the three, the basics, or these are the three subtopics on how do you build muscle. Rest. When you are resting, when you are sleeping, your body releases growth hormone, which helps in recovery, muscle growth. That is the gist of resting. If your body is well rested, your body will be in position to build muscle. Recovering from the training that is done while you are sleeping, then that is when now the muscle grows, or you put your body in position for the muscle to grow by resting sufficiently and training enough, not training when rest is needed. Basically, that's just resting enough, sleeping minimum 7 to 8 hours. I found that is, the good spot. 6.5, even 6, you can still do it. But I found that below 6, it your body can get to a point where it can recover in 6 hours, but it's pushing it a bit. 7 to about 8 hours. 6.5, still decent, but ideally I found that 7 hours, that is sort of the sweet spot. So you need to rest properly. Feeding the muscle. From my own research, for your muscle to grow, you need, this is the minimum, this is the entry level, 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. 2 grams, that's minimum. You can, go more, but if you go less, it will be a waste unless you are superiorly gifted genetically. But minimum 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Meaning now that if you weigh 100 kilograms, apologies, 100 kilograms on the scale, a minimum need 200 grams of protein. Let me repeat. If you're weighing 100 kilograms on the scale, you need a minimum of 200 grams of protein. You can break that down into 4 meals of 50 grams per meal, or you can break it down even further. You can just take 200 grams divided by 5 and get, make it 5 meals. But that is the minimum. And as you go further now in your chain, you can add and see how much your body can hold. Because another thing that you need to understand with protein, if it's not the only one, it's only one of the few foods, or one of the few components of food that your body cannot keep. Meaning now that if you eat an excessive amount of protein, your body cannot keep it. It will release it. You know how waste is released. You will release it. It's not like carbs and most fats, where if you take an excessive amount, the body will keep, or the body will be able to extract what it needs. But with protein, if you take an excessive amount of protein, your body won't be able to maximize that. Your body will release it when you go to the restroom, unfortunately. So that is the feeding part. Now let's get to the training. Enter this guy, Dorian Yates. This guy's training philosophy, it's called high intensity training. This idea initially, or it was made famous by Mike Mentzer, this guy. But the research says that the originator, or the one that Dorian Yates took, was an evolved version, or a better research version of Arthur Jones' philosophy. Okay, high intensity training. What? what it entails is that it's less reps at the highest intensity. That is where growth happens. So basically, when it's come to gaining muscle, scientifically, I'm gonna put it in normal terms, is that you break down the muscle, and the muscle, when it recovers, it grows, because the muscle, it's like last week you pushed the weight, and the muscle was able to say, hey, this weight is heavy, so let's grow. So next time you get this weight, you can be able to move it comfortably. So you break it down, the muscle recovers, it grows. So now by increasing the weight, you're basically telling your body to grow so you can be able to move the weight easily. So you break it down, and then you recover by sleeping, and then you feed it. So now when you go to the gym now the following week, you add a little bit. So the same thing will happen. Your muscle is gonna break down, muscle gonna say, hey, this 20 kilograms is very heavy, so let's grow. So next time we're lifting this weight, we can lift it comfortably. But now the following week gonna come and say, put another 5 kilograms. So now the muscle gonna say, hey, now it's 25 kilograms. Let's do the thing again. Let's recover and grow. So next time they wanna push this weight, it will come to, and then you add more weight. So that's basically the philosophy that was about training, is that you need to push your muscle, or you need to break down your muscle, and when your muscle recovers, then it will be able to grow. And Dorian Yates believes in, or Dorian Yates' philosophy, the one that took him from a normal gym goer to Miss Olympia, he's a 6-time Miss Olympia, is high intensity. So it's fewer reps where you're sort of warming up, and then it's a couple of working sets. But the main goal is the heaviest weight at the highest intensity, with reps ranging between 8 and 4 at the highest intensity. That is when growth happens, according to Dorian Yates, which is also the philosophy that I agree with. There's a lot of philosophies out there on how to build muscle and all of that. But this one for me makes more sense, that you challenge the muscle at the highest level by the heaviest weight you can carry. And then when recovery takes place, now the muscle is going to be able to grow. So you break it down. When it grows, it gets bigger. And now what you do now, you add more weight, and then you recover when you're sleeping, then you feed accordingly. And then that is how you gain muscle, in my experience and in my own research.
Cardio or weight? Personally, this guy did cardio only. This guy used to run long distance. This guy played cricket. This guy played soccer. And occasionally you do push-ups here and there. This guy did no cardio. This guy was bulking. From 80 kilogram, he wanted to be around, I don't know why I'm talking like I didn't know. He wanted to be over 100 kilograms. And then in this picture, this guy is 115 kilograms. This guy did no cardio. Occasional walk to the shop, but nothing serious. And this guy, this one here, he did both cardio and weight together. So you decide for yourself. Do you want to be this guy? Do you want to be this guy? Or do you want to be this guy? So basically, not obvious, but there's no sort of right answer. There's no one answer to this question. But I would think it will depend on your goal, and also it will depend on your body, what your body responds to. But both cardio and weight, they do benefit, or they do contribute immensely towards a fitness goal. I don't know if, I'm sure if you're watching this, you know about this guy. This is David Goggins, arguably toughest man alive, give or take, depending on which metric you use to measure toughness. But this guy, he used to be overweight, and in his quest to lose weight, he has said in a lot of podcasts that he found a way to lose weight without having loose skin. And what he would do is that he would weight lift, but he will do a lot of reps, 100 reps. The one interview he said. So he would, rep the bar. If he was doing the video that I saw, he was talking about bench press. So he will do 100. At the weights, he will choose a weight that he can do 100. Then he will do 100 reps. If he rests, he was resting while still at the bench. So he will rest while the bar is up, or rest while the bar in his chest somewhere. But he will not get off, or he will not stop the set until he reach 100 reps. That was the set for him, if I can put it that way. But he will do 100 reps. I don't know if that was one set, but that is how he lost weight. So he lost weight. Majority that contributed to him losing weight was that method, where he did 100 reps for whatever weight he did. So just to show that to lose weight, you don't need cardio, or cardio shouldn't be your main source, or the main thing that you rely upon, to lose weight. But for me, a little bit of both. As I said, this guy did some cardio, but he did not do extreme cardio. Or also, this guy here, this is current. This picture was taken what month are we? We are in August. This picture was taken in July, I think July 20th. I'm gonna put the date there somewhere. This guy, what he does, he walks a lot. He goes to the gym about 4 to 5 times a week, and he walks a lot. He does about 10,000 steps, sometimes more, per day. And also, he also does the bike a couple of days a week. But he gets a decent amount of cardio in, and also a decent amount of weight lifting. So it's up to you. Hopefully, the visuals and the examples will help you decide, or will help you try one for yourself, and then once you've seen the result, then you decide. Yes, I think I did not answer the question. I just gave examples and gave my experience. But I would think that it would be highly recommended that you experience it for yourself. But I recommend a little bit of both. If your goal is similar to mine, or similar to what I've spoken about, or what we've seen, how I look and all of that, if your goal is similar to that. But if your goal is to perhaps lose weight, a huge number of kilograms in a short period of time, most likely you will have to do a lot of cardio. I cannot, say for sure, because I've never experienced that. As I said, this guy did no cardio, but now when I wanted to move, when I wanted to sort of move away from being this guy to being this guy, it took me a long time. And luckily, when I lost the weight, I don't have any loose skin because I took my time with losing the weight. It was not anything extreme. It was also a bit of the cardio and the weight, but nothing extreme when it's come to cardio. Because what I've seen that if you're trying to lose weight with cardio and you go in hard, you lose weight, but the like when you lose the weight, it's so quick that the proportions, I don't know if I can put it that way, but then your body does not fall into a nice proportions. I think most of us, we've seen someone who lost weight, but the head looks like out of place. Respectfully, it happens. Guys, DOMS. How do I stay motivated? Those are the two questions we'll be tackling today. Once again, Demotic bodybuilder, almost 20 years, just sharing my views or sharing my experiences. This is still the most Google question series, just giving my answers or my input in Google's or Google. So the first question, can I exercise with DOMS? DOMX, it's delay onset muscle soreness, but that is the fancy word. It's basically just being sore from training. So can you train if your muscles are sore? It's not recommended, or I will not recommend it from my experience. Soreness, it's when you pushed your muscles, and when you push your muscle they tear or you do damage to your muscle. And now when they sore, it's when now your muscle is recovering from the soreness, meaning now the muscle is rebuilding. When the muscle rebuilds, it's when it's getting strong and getting bigger. So it's not recommended you train when that is happening or that during that period. That's why not really most, but the training split, it's one muscle group every 5-7 days. So you can let the muscle rest and let the muscle grow. That is the reason why it's recommended, especially for me as a bodybuilder or someone trying to build muscle. For your muscle to grow, you need to give them rest. Most likely, for other athletes, endurance runners and all these other ones, perhaps for them training while the muscle is sore, it's not as detrimental to their progress as it is if trying to build muscle. So can you train or can you exercise while your muscles are sore? My answer is no, because you're trying to build a muscle, and when your muscle is sore, it's when your muscle is recovering from the tearing or the stress that you put it through while you were training. And then now when it's recovering, that's when the growth takes place. So you don't want to interfere with that growth process. It's like a plant trying to shoot up, or trying to once you've planted the seed, now it's trying to grow, but now you've put concrete over it, so that plant will never grow and get sunshine to grow even further. So now when you train while the muscles are sore, when you hit one muscle like a bicep for 3 days in a row, you will not get the full benefit of those training, because the recovery stage, you would have hampered the recovery stage by training again. So answer is no, don't do it. The next question, how do you stay motivated? This is what ChatGPT said. you can pause the video and read it for yourself. But basically, the idea from ChatGPT is that you need to get closer to the source of your motivation. If you're motivated by whatever, you need to stay close to the source. There's this meme that was I've seen before. I know this is the character. It's called Dexter, from the early 90s, late 2000s cartoon. He had a picture of Arnold, his motivation. So I'm sure every day, or the idea is that every day you must just sort of tap into your motivation. Personally, motivation, how do you say motivated? I guess motivation, it's similar to any other things that you need, or any other things that you cannot stay motivated without feeding, or without doing something to have you motivated. So if, for example, me personally, I like watching those motivational videos. This is one of my favorite channels, and this one, but this is sort of on the surface motivation. This can't do anything if you're not really up to it. So basically, with motivation, you need to find something that motivates you and then try and stick to it. And those days where motivation is low, you need to just show up. I think that's where now discipline must kick in. As motivation, if whatever source or whatever thing that motivates you, those days that is not working, you still need to show up. So you still need to find a way. I think that's where discipline. And I think one of the videos I did a couple of, I think, weeks ago or sometime, it's basically, what do you do in those days where you don't feel like going to the gym? I'll use the gym because that is, where, there's this idea of motivation and all of that. For me, or for this video, it applies to. So those days where you don't feel like hitting the gym, what do? My advice, you just need to show up. If you can gather the strength to leave your house, or gather the strength to go from your normal job to the gym, if you're there by the door, you've won. It's highly unlikely, that you want to go to the gym, you are lacking motivation, you're lacking drive, but you were able to get to the door, and by the door you turn and go home. It's highly unlikely to do that. So that is my take. Motivation, find the source. Those days where the source is not working, discipline must kick in. You must just know what you're doing it for. Show up, get there by the door. The question today is, how can you improve your fitness? I'll put the questions somewhere here. And once again, welcome to the channel. My name is Demotic, bodybuilder, almost 20 years of experience. I'm just going to be sharing my perspective of the most common questions. So the question is, as I said, is how can you improve your fitness? So I think with this one, it's, you need to go back to the basics. Most of things in life, you need to start from 1, 2, 3 until you get to wherever you're going. Like a child, you need to first learn how to sit, learn how to crawl, learn how to stand, learn how to walk, learn how to run. So all these things, it's steps. One of my favorite artists is Java. There's one of his hooks where he said, you cannot just be Usain Bolt. So meaning now you cannot just sprint. You need to, get the fundamentals first. You need to be able to walk. You need to be able to see if your knees are good enough for sprinting. You need to get the basics. So also as well with fitness, I would suggest if the individual in question, has never done any sort of training or whatever, it's just a normal person, a normal person, never done any sort of fitness or, maybe slightly overweight in the cases. So now if I had to speak to that person on how do they improve their fitness, yes, that's how do you improve your fitness? I would say first you need to move a little bit more. So start by going for walks. Or just going for walks. Perhaps, the first week, let's say now you're gonna give yourself a month to improve your fitness. Like the first week, maybe go for 15 minutes walk. See how it feels. That is for the 7 days. See how it feels. The following week, maybe make it 20 minutes or 25 minutes and see how it feels. And then the following week, you can keep it the same time, but now try to increase the pace. Increase the pace. Now that's for the third week. Increase the pace. And then now for the fourth week, you need to increase the pace and now make it 30 minutes. And then if you can keep it there consistently for that fourth week, by the first week of the following month, you should be able to slightly jog without sort of having chest pains. That would be my suggestion if you're just starting from zero, for, let's say you're starting from zero. I think everyone watching, they understand what I mean, starting from zero. That would be ideally how I would suggest it to start, or how I would start if I had to start over again. I would start just by walking, gradually increasing the amount of time I'm walking, and then also after 3 weeks, increase the intensity of the walk. There's a lot of apps, there's a lot of smart devices, smart watches, all of that can help you to track your steps and track your intensity, how much weight you lose, all of that. So now after four weeks, the fifth week, now you try to slightly jog. Depending, not really depending, but you can keep it the same 30 minutes as the high intensity walk. Slightly jog, and then from there your body will give you indication to say we are ready to take it up a notch. Remember, now we're trying to improve fitness. We're not building muscle, we are not losing weight, we're just improving fitness. And now when your body says that we are ready to take it up a notch, then you can just increase the amount of time that you are running. And then also you can incorporate going for a hike, which will challenge you. Hikes, it's outside, it's mountains, it's steep, so they will definitely challenge you. So if you can do that regularly with a regular jog, it will definitely improve your fitness overall. That is my take on how one, or if I had to go back and start over again, that's how I would improve my fitness. Walks, increase the walking time, increase intensity, slightly jog, and then once my body gives an indication that they're ready for more, then I will jog more, high intensity, longer, put in some hiking in there. That will definitely increase your fitness. The other question, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this one. It's will I get big as Arnold? This is Arnold. So genetically we're all different. So we cannot strive, or we cannot think that you're going to be big as someone else. You can definitely get close if you copy what they did. according to the internet, this is Arnold's diet supplementation. It's unclear, but this is some of his supplements. There's a lot of videos out there about how he lived his life. But basically, when it comes to body goals, you can have a body goal that you're looking up to. But you need to keep in mind that there's a lot of factors that are different from individual to individual. So meaning now that person A and person B, they could do the same things, eat the same food, train the same way, take the same supplements and everything, but the result will never be the same. The result may be similar, but will never be the same. So you can never, aim to look like someone else. You can get close or you can be as big as them, but you'll never be the same. So that is just my take. If someone wants to achieve a physique that's similar to another person, you'll never be, but you can be as big as they are, you can be strong as they are, but the quality and the way you look, all of that, you will never be the same. So the next question is, which exercises help me to lose weight? With this one, I don't think there's any particular exercise by itself which can help one to lose weight. I think it's a combination of things that can assist you in losing the weight. Let me give you a few that I think are essential in your weight loss journey. First things, you need to, and then this can be done, easily. You can just put it on Google. You need to find out for your body or for your weight, how many calories do you need a day. I think that's the first thing that you need to find out. That for your body, how many calories do you need? Let's say now, for example, for whatever weight that a person is, it says that you need 250. Yes, that's impossible. Let's say it says 2,500 per day, just for your normal bodily functions, breathing, for your organs to work, all of that. You need to try and get less or put less calories into your body than the one that is recommended. Because now what happens is that if you take in calories and you're taking an excess amount of calories from the recommended or from the numbers that you're gonna get when you put it into the calorie calculator, that is where the weight is gained. Taking in excess calories, meaning now that to lose weight, it's the opposite. To take in less calories. With that, now you're gonna need to know what is your baseline for your body, calories wise. That will be the first thing if your goal is to lose weight. And now when you get to the gym, what do I recommend you do? When you're going to the gym, now remember now that you're trying to lose weight. So I will recommend exercises that requires a lot of calories, or exercises that will burn a lot of calories. My recommendation will be, you have an hour to train, right? Okay, let's say this person has an hour to train. In that hour at the gym, come in 10 minutes on the treadmill or any cardio. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Any cardio machine, elliptical, a bike, 10 minutes there to warm up. And at the highest intensity, the one that you can achieve,
at whatever stage you are now in your fitness journey. Maybe it's your first month in the gym, whatever intensity you can reach on that equipment, doing 10 minutes of that. And then the other 40 minutes, because I'm also gonna recommend another 10 minutes at the end of almost the same cardio machine. So now the 40 minutes, you can do what is called, or what is at my gym that I go to, is referred to as a what's the thing called? What's it called now? Not a cycle, it's a circuit. Yes. Apologies. Yes, a circuit. I'll put a picture of here of what a circuit looks like. But basically, I think that hopefully the picture will be what I'm saying. It's machines almost in a circle which target each body part. I would recommend you do that at the highest intensity. If you can do 2 cycles of a circuit. It goes, that way you start here maybe chest, and then here it's arms, but it targets the whole body. If you can do 2 cycles or 3 cycles if you can of that at the highest intensity, obviously the weight, mid to lower weight, because your goal is to want to lose weight, so you need to burn as much calories as you can. You do that, but it should include everything from arms, shoulders, legs, everything. Do that. Two cycles, 3 if you can. 3 is the preferred number. You do that. It should take you about 40 minutes, or dedicate 40 minutes to that. Then another 10 minutes cardio side, cool down, incline treadmill or mid to lower speed on the bike. Then that should be able to get you closer, or that should be able to assist you in losing weight. So best things, just to summarize: calories, get your baseline, try to take in less. You can progress with how much less you take in, as it's not recommended to just cut the calories into half. Maybe you can progress with minus 20%, until you feel that you're really losing weight, and you find a nice spot with amount of calories. But you can just Google that body weight, calories. Google will give you the answer. Then you get to the gym, do things that will require a lot of calories to be used. Recommendation: 10 minutes cardio before, 10 minutes cardio after, and then do the circuit, 3 cycles of that at high intensity. That is what I would recommend. That would assist you to lose weight.
How often should I exercise? I'm gonna rephrase and put the question as, how many times a week should I go to the gym? I would say minimum 3 days a week is a decent amount for you to benefit. Ideally, 4 days, for me, that is almost the perfect amount of days. If you wanna be doing what is called the bro split, push pull legs, meaning now that push, it's when you're doing chest you are pushing, when you're doing back you are pulling, then you do legs, and then you push again, now which is shoulders, and then you add arms somewhere then between. You can do a little bit of arms during your chest day, some arms during your back day, some arms when you're doing your shoulder day. So with the arm, it also has 3 major parts: bicep, tricep, and forearm. So you can split this, split the arm workout accordingly in those 3 days when you push and you're pulling, and then legs. Now that's when now you're gonna be doing your quads, hamstring, your glutes, your calves, abductors, all of that. So I would say that 4 days, it's somewhat, the sweet spot. Suggestion is that you go maybe 2 days, you take 1 day off, you go another 2 days, then you take a day or 2 off. If you just keep it like that, it will be enough for you to gain. And also, obviously, everyone, only a few are lucky enough to have fitness be their main jobs. So only those will be lucky enough to have access or have a lot of time to commit to the gym. But as most of us with our normal jobs, 4 days, it can be weaved into a person that works 40 to 45 hours a week, if you really serious about your fitness journey. So that is my take on how often should one go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the second question. When is it best to exercise? For that one, it varies from individual to individual. I would suggest you need to try all. Okay, it's only, you can break them down into the 3 possibilities. It's either you go train early in the morning, most likely empty stomach, or maybe something light, to break the fast. Or you can go midday after have maybe 2 meals, or you can go in the afternoon after a whole day of eating. I've done all 3. The first one, early in the morning, I've done that with just a cup of black coffee, no sugar, a little bit of salt, and a banana, and no complaints. You hear people complain about training on empty stomach and all of that. No complaints. Yeah, I would go in. I still do it from time to time. I'll go in, get it done, be on my way. Focused, as long as I had a decent amount or a good night's sleep, go in, focus, maximum effort, all the good stuff. And also going to the gym after 2 meals. So after your breakfast and the meal after that, brunch, lunch, whatever the case is. That's also good. And with that one, you are able to give more. The thing that when training in the morning on an empty stomach or on something light, there is a degree, or there is some limitations. Perhaps, if your max, it will be challenging to hit your max on a semi-empty stomach, but you can definitely still get a decent amount. But now when you're going to the gym after 2 meals, there's more energy, there's more reserve, there's more gas in the tank. So no, that will be the difference between the two. When you go into the gym now after 2 meals, there's definitely more gas in the tank, and it's still early, possibly around 1 or 2. So the exhaustion of the day has not sort of taken over, or you will not be suffering from the exhaustion of the day, of your normal day to day. And then there is going to the gym in the afternoon. In the afternoon, if your day was not challenging, or if your work that you do it's not physically taxing, then you shouldn't have issues training in the afternoon. But you just need to motivate, you need motivation or at least discipline. Because personally, in the afternoon, it's been a long day of doing this and that, life's challenges and all of that. And sometimes you may just feel like I just want to go home and relax and all of that. You definitely need discipline to um, do that. A tip with that, if you have a training partner, that will definitely help you, because some days, you'll be the one running low on gas. Then the training partner, they will hold you accountable, or they say, yo, let's go. And then some days will be the other way around. So that will be the tip. When you want to train in the afternoon, train with somebody, or if you're not training alone, you need to sort of build up your mindset. You need to sort of listen to a lot of David Goggins just to, build up your mindset. Because it's definitely doable, but, personal experience, some days are challenging. Some days, it's 5 o'clock, you don't want to go to the gym, or the gym is full, or whatever the case is. So for me, I prefer training in the morning, because right now I'm not trying to gain any extra or extreme amount of muscles. I just want to get in there, stimulate the muscle, and get on with my day. But all three, that is the way I would sort of answer or give advice or give my take on when it's best to exercise. It depends on the person. All three, training on a semi-empty stomach, training after 2 meals, or training in the afternoon, both have their own challenges, their own benefits, and it will go from individual to individual. Those who start work early, they would unfortunately now need to train in the afternoon, or those who start work late or whatever, they can train early in the morning. But all three, if you can show up, that would be best. What time you show up, well, it's going to be up to you.
How to get abs as per the most nutritions. This, maybe not. But I believe your path towards getting abs, if you don't have abs, or let's say your path towards sort of releasing or making your abs visible, because all of us have abs. It's just that some of us, they are not visible. So now, how do you get your abs to come outside and play? How do you do that? I believe it's a two-step process, or it's a two-leg process. But the two-leg steps, those are simple. The trick is, or where it really gets difficult, it will be the consistency, because we will need you to be consistent in those two steps, or those two legs to the process. You need to keep on it. You need to keep on going, because it's very difficult to stay in the journey of getting abs. Okay, what are those two legs? It's basically from the inside and from the outside. Let me explain. So I'm of the view that you get abs by doing the work inside the body and also outside. Meaning now what you're putting into your body must be in line with you trying to get abs. And also what you're doing outside your body, meaning now at the gym, how you train them. Okay. So basically, when you're trying to get abs, or you're trying to bring your abs out, you need to find out how much calories you're supposed to be getting for your body weight. And reduce those calories. That is will be the first step. Or if you want to reduce, maybe move more. May now burn more calories. But reducing it is definitely the better option. Because now when you're reducing, the layer of fat and water that is covering your abs, that's where now that will be reduced. Because as I said, I'm of the view that all of us have abs. It's just that some of us, the abs not visible. So now to make them visible, you need to eat less or move more, or eat less and move more. Burn calories so your abs can come outside and play. Come outside in summer, whatever the case is. But as the previous video, I'm gonna link it below on how you can go about knowing how much calories your body is consuming. So now when you start with that now to reduce your calorie intake, meaning now that you're gonna start losing body fat and some water. Because when you reduce, especially the carbs, when you reduce the carbs, your body will also lose some water weight. The other step is training them correctly, or training them with exercises that are scientifically proven. These are the 3 exercises that you need for abs. Any other thing, it's an addition. But these 3, according to science, these are the 3 that you need. I'm gonna link a video below from a doctor that explains these exercises, and I'll also link the research that talk about these 3 exercises. I'm also gonna put in clips on how to do these 3 exercises correctly. Basically, for your abs, you need any form of leg raises. You need cable crunch, and you need to do any twisting action to target your obliques. So with now eating less calories, or trying to burn the midsection, or trying to get your abs to come outside, plus these 3 exercises, if you can do that in 30 days, there should be an improvement. 30 days, there should be improvement. Thank you for watching. For any questions, any comments, and suggestions, please drop them down below. Do all the nice things and have a good one, and try to show up each and every time.